Hi guys, welcome back to Echo Maths. In today's video, we're going to be doing percentages. Percentages are a really useful skill and are used in maths a lot. So in today's video, we're going to be learning how to convert a fraction into a percentage, as well as some fun word problems at the end. Let's jump right into it. Hi guys, welcome back to Echo Maths. In today's video, we're going to learn about percentages. First off, let's learn how you can turn a fraction into a percentage. Let's start off with something easy. Let's do 1 over 2, or 1 half. Now, some of you may already know that 1 half is 50%, but how do you know this? How can we actually figure it out? Well, first, let's take the numerator, 1, and divide it by 2. What does this give us? Well, let's put it into a calculator. It's always good practice to put numbers into a calculator, just to ensure that you get it right. So let's do 1 divided by 2 equals 0.5. 0.5. 1 divided by 2 equals 0.5. Now what do? We take our decimal, 0.5, and we times it by 100. Why do we times it by 100? Well, percentages are actually just fractions of 100. So any percentage, say there was 67%, 67% is just the same as 67 over 100. So that's why we times it by 100, because our decimal times 100 will give us our percentage. So what does that do? Well, 0.5 times 100 equals 50. Or 50%. And then you have it. You have turned our fraction into a percentage. Now let's move on to something a little bit harder. How do we turn more complex fractions into percentages? Well, it's the same process. Let's say you had 6 over 19. How do you turn this into a fraction? Sorry, a percentage. Well, use the same as before. Take the numerator and you divide it by the denominator. So you do 6 divided by 19. What does this equal? Well, 6 divided by 19 equals 0.316. I know it says 5 there, but we're going to go to 3 decimal places because this is a very long number. What do we do here? Well, we take our 0.316 and we times it by 100. But instead of putting it into the calculator, what we can do is we can just bring the decimal place 2 spots down. So we've brought it down, so we get 3.16. We bring it down again and we get 31.6, which means that our overall percentage is 31.6%. Easy. Okay, let's try another one, just for good measure. Let's say you had 19 over 1063. You can already tell that this is going to be a very small percentage, just because of how small the numerator is compared to the denominator. But let's go on. So what do? We take our numerator and we divide it by the denominator. So we do 19 divided by 1063. What does this give us? Well, 19 divided by 1063 equals 0.017. Okay, so we've gone 3 decimal places again. And let's times that by 100. 0.017 times 100 equals, well, we bring our decimal place 2 points down because there's 2 zeros. Well, it's just because this is a multiple of 10, for every 0, you can just bring the decimal place down. So we've got 2 zeros, so we bring the decimal place down 2. So we bring 1, 2. What do we get? Well, we get 1.7%. Just like that. Okay, let's try another example. Let's say you had $80 and then you walked into a store, you bought a couple things, and you walked out with 60. How much have you lost? Or what is the difference in percentage between 80 and 60? Well, first of all, we've got to work out the difference. So we do 80, the initial, minus 60, the final, to give us 20. So we went in with 80, we walked out with 60, which means we spent 20. Now what do? Well, we take our 20 and then we divide it by our initial, 80, to give us 0.25. What do we do here? Well, like before, we times it by 100, so we do 0.25 times 100 to give us 25%. That means that the difference between these two numbers is 25%. Now let's try another more practical one. Let's say you walk into another store and there's a t-shirt there for $30. A bit expensive, but let's say it was a pretty cool one. But the store says that it was 30% off. How much does a t-shirt actually cost? Well, there's actually two things you could do. First, you could take your percentage off. So we've got a $30 t-shirt and it's 30% off. So we take off 30%. How do we do that? Well, first we can turn this back into a decimal. So we divide it by 100. So we take 30% and we divide it by 100 to give us our decimal. So we can do 30 divided by 100 to give us 0.3. Now that we have our decimal, we can times this by our original. So we have $30 and we can times that by the decimal to give us 30 times 0.3 equals 9. What do we do here? Well, if we know that 30% of 30 is 9, and we know it's 30% off, then we just minus 9 from 30. So 30 minus 9 equals 21, or $21. So that's the cost of the t-shirt now. So it's gone from $30, and because of the 30% discount, it's now $21. But there's another way that's more quicker to work out how much was taken off. And this way we have 100%, so the whole t-shirt, all of it, 100% of the t-shirt cost $30. But if we know that it's 30% off, then we take off 30% from the 100. What does it give us? Well, it gives us 70%. And if we turn 70% into a decimal by dividing it by 100, we get 0.7 as our decimal. What we can now do is we can just go straight to going 30 times 0.7, which also gives us 21. Therefore, with both these methods, you can work out the cost of the t-shirt when it's on discount. Hi guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped you understand percentages. See you in the next one.